And good afternoon, San Antonio. Welcome to the Happy Handyman Show. I'm Trudy Chook, broadcasting live from Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware. Going to be here for the next 30 minutes to talk about so many good things. I have some exciting things to tell you about, some new products. I'm going to give you a little update on some older products. And you know what we're talking about today? It's all things paint. All things paint. I have to say, I think all things paint is probably one of my favorite things that we talk about here on the show. You know, my dad used to have these, all the trucks at the lumberyard, and on the back of the trucks, it always said, it's always a great day to paint. It was the logo, or the byline that Carl Wigglesworth got Dad to start using. It's always a great day to paint. And so I think maybe that's why I get it from, because painting is one of those things that doesn't cost you a whole lot, but gives you a huge update. Whether you do it outdoors, indoors, if you're just doing some furniture, paint is by far the easiest thing to do and the most economical thing. So we're going to talk about everything today, from varnishes, what kind to use, indoors, outdoors, primers. Primers are very important if you want to remove paint, if you just got through painting and you want to touch up with a nice caulk line, which one to use. If you want to touch up with stain, what kind of stain can you use? And then say you have a crack in the wall, like maybe where your door comes together. That's always kind of a stress point. I'm going to talk to you about a product, and then we're going to wind it up with talking about stain on the outside of the house. So let me tell you again where we're located. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway, which is about 2 miles north of, hi Karen, 2 miles north of Loop 410, right past the light at Lock Hill, Selma. If you want to call the store while we're on the air, the number is 210-341-1573. Karen, I was just thinking about you earlier today and that I hadn't seen you out here, so it's good to see you out here. Now, if you don't live in San Antonio, but you want to check into some of the products that we're going to be talking about today, well, just go to the website, which is happyhandyman.com. You can look at the products, get some more information, and if you would like, you can have it shipped to your own front door. So we have a great freight rate in the state of Texas. Anything over $20, whether it's one thing or 20 things, it costs you $6 to ship. Anything under 20, it's $8.75. So it's just an easy way to get things to your front door and get started on your projects. So let me tell you, quick updates. This is our 80th year for being in business. And before anybody types on the screen, gosh, you don't look like you're 80. I know, I'm not, okay? My grandfather started the lumberyards back in 1944. He was a home builder. When my dad got out of the Navy, he came on board, and then we went from one small lumberyard to 5, because he loved the retail end of this. And so now we have this one hardware store that it has been my favorite out of all the stores. And we're 11,000 square feet of everything that you need as far as maintenance around the house. So we don't have any outdoor stuff like we did at the lumberyards, no roofing, no big lumber, no sheetrock, things like that. We have little things like that. We have little 2x2 squares of sheetrock. We have small, we like to call it our lumberyard in the back, and but no roofing. But we also have a great set of employees that are so knowledgeable. Most of them do all their own work around their house, and so they're more than happy to share with you some of the best tips that that you can do around the house. Okay? All right, so first of all, before we get started talking about varnishes, I want to show you two great little products that we have. One of them is called a Great Neck Screw Starter. I know that sounds kind of like crazy. What is a screw starter? For those of you that are looking on Facebook, let me see if I can get this close enough where you can see. You can see this looks like just a regular screwdriver, except it's got a graduated edge on the end of it instead of like a Phillips or a slotted, and it goes down into a very tiny point. So why would you use this? How many of you want to start either a screw, or maybe you're putting some hooks and eyes up or cup hooks into wood, and you don't want to go and get out the drill to start it with, or maybe you don't even have that much to get started in with the drill. This little screw starter is amazing, especially if it's a real hardwood. Let me tell you the project I'm going to use it on. We have a merchandiser that we have in the back, and we're going to reuse this merchandiser to hold thousands of pairs of earrings. Well, the wood that is, hey Jean, the wood that is on this merchandiser is a real thin hardwood. And if you got the drill out, it would just be a big mess. But this little screw starter, let me tell you, I already tried it out and it works great. So if you don't want to get a drill out the next time you're wanting to start a screw hole, then get the Great Neck Screw Starter. They're super reasonably priced, and you can put it in your toolbox. Now, for the next thing. All right. Not everybody wants to invest in like a smoker grill, like a Traeger or an Egg or something like that. They're pricey. There is no doubt about it. But what if you could take your regular gas grill or your Weber grill, something that you put charcoal in, or like it is a gas one, but you still wanted to have a smoker kind of finish on your meats. Well, there is a product that is called Amazing Smoking, and it looks like a long cylinder with all these cuts in it, and you put your smoking pellets in it. I mean, we carry Traeger pellets and they would fit in here just fine. And then you light this, and this 6-inch one you can put pellets in, and it will last for 2 hours, so that all the meats that you're cooking or fish or chicken will have a smoke smell along with your grilling. Okay, and so not many people have heard about this product, but I think it's really pretty cool. They make 2 sizes. We just carry this one 6-inch, and then they also say you can cold smoke. I don't quite know what that is. Probably some of you that are listening to me absolutely know what it is, but all you have to do is just fill it, light it, and in 10 minutes you have smoke. So if you're wanting to step up your gas grill, then try Amazing Smoking products. All right, so let's talk about varnishes, and let's talk about 2 different kinds. All right, if you're going to do something outside, you always need to use a spar varnish. It has to say spar. Some of them do just say outdoor, but you need to look for spar someplace on the label. Now, the one I pulled up is called Man of War. I like Man of War. I've used it whenever I use a spar varnish outdoors. And so when would you use this? On your outdoor furniture, rockers, patio table. It'll come in 3 different finishes. So it'll come in a satin, a semi-gloss, and a high gloss. It has, spar will give you the most protection that you can get outdoors. So for wind, rain, and UV protection, spar varnish. and lots of times they call it a marine varnish. With this one you'll get, with the Man of War, this is what I've always found. It's a superior durability. Of course, it's great for exterior doors also, window seals, anything like that. When you're trying to protect on the outside of the house and you're wanting to do a clear finish, you want Spar. It's made by McCluskey, and it's just a great, and this is what I like about McCluskey. It's super forgiving. You know, you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to use exactly the most expensive brush. It is very forgiving. Man of War, it'll make you look like a professional, okay? Comes in, we carry it in quarts. I'm sure it comes in gallons, but this is what most of my customers want, okay? Now, a lot of people take the word polyurethane and try to use it for everything, okay? Polyurethane is great for indoors. If you try to use it outdoors on wood, outdoors your wood's gonna move. And polyurethanes become extremely hard. They give you a really hard finish. So if your wood is trying to move outside, guess what happens to your polyurethane? It cracks, okay? So when you want a finish for the inside of the house, you want to use a polyurethane. They do come in oils. They do come in water-based. So if you're going to be doing it inside, then I would use a water-based one. Varathane is tremendous. I mean, absolutely tremendous. Like the McCluskey, you do not have to be a pro. It's super forgiving. It'll go on kind of milky and then dry, crystal clear. And it's this Varathane, this one's ultimate polyurethane, water-based. It says on that it's interior only, so you would never use this outdoors, or your project would not withstand the exterior. And then it's scratch resistant, which most polyurethanes are. You know, that's part of being a polyurethane, because it gives you this real hard finish. Ultimate durability, fastest dry time. So probably, I did not look on here to see when the dry time was, but I'll look that up for next time that we're on the air. But this one, if you were going to do some work on the inside of the house and you wanted to use a poly, like for a tabletop or anything like that, then I would use the Varathane. And again, like I said, super easy to do, and you don't have to have a $100 brush to do it with. Although we're going to talk about some brushes next week that are super, super nice, and they don't cost a fortune. So, okay, so let's talk about, if you're going to do stuff on the inside of the house, primers, okay? You and I, several of y'all and I, we have talked about different kinds of primers. And I told you about a project that I had going on at my house when I bought this house, and I pretty much took it down to the studs, except when I got to the kitchen, because I ran out of money. And so I left the kitchen up as is. And then every time when I would leave for 2-3 days, like going on some of these shows and stuff like that, I'd come back home and I'd walk into the house and I'd go, I smell smoke. The previous owner was a heavy-duty smoker, but I thought I had gotten everything taken care of. And then one night when I was putting up my pots and pans, my nose came in contact with the cabinet, and that's where I smelled the smoke smell. This lingering smoke had penetrated these cabinet doors because they were cabinet doors back from the 1980s. Was the finish that great left on them? No, it wasn't. So, okay, thank you, Jill. And so Zinsser makes an odor-killing primer, okay? An odor-killing primer. which is so good for things like that, like the cabinets. Maybe you've had water damage and you were able to save the cabinets, but the smell kind of lingers. Odor killing primer, also good for like if you have animals inside the house and maybe they had accident on the floor and you want to get rid of the odor like that. Odor killing primer made by Zinsser. Zinsser makes great primers, okay? And they'll do like specialty kind of primers. Like I said, this odor killing primer. They also make one that is really great for like if you've got sheetrock paper that's kind of pulling away and you don't want to replace everything. Well, they've got a primer that will stick it back down and go over all it, and you can paint right on top of it. But what I want to talk to you about right now is a great bargain primer. Plus, just because it's less expensive doesn't mean that it's not as good. This one is Insulex. So let me tell you a little history on Insulex. Insulex, like the great-great-grandfather of this Insulex name, Negley. Some of you that have been around as long as I have, okay, you remember Negley. Negley paint here in San Antonio, made for South Texas, and what they use on the Tower of America every time they repaint. In fact, I have to tell you, I went the other night and picked up a friend of mine. Her father had passed away, and so I wanted to take her to dinner and kind of give her a little break from everything that was going on. And I used to live right next door to them. So I've been gone from that house for 10 years now, okay? And I painted the outdoors on that house about 2 years before I moved. So it's been 14 years since, 12 or 14 years since I lived there. And guess what? The outside looked absolutely beautiful. The paint still looked great. It didn't fade, it wasn't chipping, it wasn't peeling, and it was, of course, Coronado paint. Coronado paint, Negley paint, Coronado paint, Insulex. Okay, so that gives you a little history and a little kind of idea of the quality that I'm talking about. Okay, they have a new primer called Primal. Okay, this quart, it's for interior or exterior, but I would probably tend to use it interior. It's great for stain blocking. So maybe if you had smoke damage, if you were trying to cover up some paneling where you have those those orange tones that try to come through even when you're trying to paint. It has a strong adhesion and sealing properties, and it's dry to the touch in less than an hour because it's all water-based, all acrylic, so you won't get those heavy-duty smells that you can with like the BIN primers or the what's the other primer that everybody kills? Everybody loves Kills because they advertise just all the time, and they've done a really great job of advertising. Okay, most of the Kills, even in the quart, is about $26 to $27 a quart. The Primal made by Insulex is under $14. It's a great primer. It's economical, and if you're trying to prime and cover up some stains, this is what you want to go for. Okay, Insulex Prime All. Now, if you have a difficult area that you need to prime, it's slick. Maybe you want to paint your tile. Maybe, because that's what they show. It's a water bonding primer, so it's latex. Okay. It's a urethane acrylic latex, okay? And it's called Sticks. This is the only one that my brother-in-law, Philip Fields, will use. Whenever he's getting ready to redo a door, redo some trim work, anything like that, he'll say, I want Sticks, okay? I remember one year he was painting a metal awning, and that's what he said. The only thing that worked was the Sticks. Again, made by Insulex. So this is a product that has been around for a long, long time. Now they show it on here that they're covering up ceramic tile, okay? And it's true. You can cover up and use sticks on ceramic tile. I wouldn't suggest it, and this is the only reason why. Not because it won't stick, because it looks like paint when you're done, okay? It won't have a gloss like your regular ceramic tile will have, but if you are really worried about something not sticking, it's like glass, or maybe you want to paint a countertop, sticks is what you want to use. All right, well, what if you want to get paint off? Okay, I've been talking about putting paint on, putting primers on. What if you want to take it off? Let me tell you, there is nothing any better than Blue Bear Soy Gel. Soy Gel is a paint and urethane stripper. Comes in a quart, also comes in a gallon. I just carry the quart here at the store. It says, it boasts that it doesn't have any ME in it. It never did. It never did. It was one of these strippers that, it's not a quick stripper. I mean, if you want a 2-minute stripper, there's 2-minute strippers over there on the shelf. They're very caustic. They're very, I mean, you don't want to do it inside the house. You can use soy gel inside the house. You can be nice and warm or nice and cool and strip down a table or strip down your cabinet tops, or your cabinet doors. And this soy gel, the only thing that is not, it's not quick, okay? You want to put it on and you want to let it work for maybe 4 or 5 hours. You want to cover it up with like saran wrap. You want to put it on about 1/4 of an inch thick. But let me tell you, you can't smell it inside the house. It's so easy. Like if you're redoing furniture and you want to take off the varnish real quick, not real quick, but easy, then use soy gel, okay? Soy gel, fast, they say fast act. It's not fast acting. There used to be a deal, and the guy that sold it to Dad originally said, you put it on, you go play a round of golf, and then you come back and you're ready to strip off the finish from your furniture. So it'll work on wood, brick, concrete, and metal, and it clings real well, so it's not runny. It stays wet, but I always tell people to put saran wrap on it. Okay, so let's see, how much time do I have? Okay, if you're having to do staining, like maybe you're doing some touch-up on some table legs and stuff like that, then I would use the Old Masters. It is a gel stain and it covers so well, and you can just wipe it on and it'll go on anything. Wood, fiberglass doors, fiberglass garage doors, Old Masters. And there's a reason they call it Old Masters. It's just a great, great product. All right, so Miss Garcia, any tips for keeping squirrels out of my bird feeders? Yes, and we're going to be carrying it soon. It's a different kind of feed that's hot. In fact, I may have it on the shelf right now. So come on in to Johnny Chick's Home and Hardware, and you can check it out. All right, that's it for this week, folks. It's time for you to roll up your sleeves and get busy on some of these projects we've been talking about. But by all means, you remember one thing. It will always be a great day to paint. See you next week.
Yeah, I have too many. Same. But
Yeah.
I don't have too many questions.
Yeah. See ya.